Nanaha, the Team Heart, is played by Lumi-chan. Also, you guys should totally go check out the D&D channel in the Discord because Daisy posted some really amazing art that Lumi did. Nanaha is...
Nanaha is a recently darkened monk who is going, what the heck's going on? Help! Human too.
Next we have Saya, our water genasi warlock. She's cold. Very cold. But that's okay, because Maul gets not. Next we have Raz, played by Mizegus. Raz is...
a Shadarkai fighter barbarian who's trying to help Nanaha cope with accepting her inner darkness.
Next we have Pocket, known for his Neum, played by Daisy. Pocket is...
a Tabaxi Phantom, just a zoom-in.
Next we have Team Mom Verity, played by the one and only Mr. Pounce. Verity is...
apparently abusive, according to you guys, but also a divine soul sorcerer who, it doesn't really have to deal with her inner darkness because she just kind of is inner darkness.
Thank you for the host roll for persuasion. Good to see ya. I didn't say she's abusive. I was just pointing out that, Pounce's, or Pocket's remembrance of being smacked. Remembered correctly. Next we have Axel, soon to be the only holy man left in Barovia, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is...
a human devotion paladin. And I don't think I have anything else this week. He's just a human devotion paladin.
He's also a lumberjack in his off hours, apparently.
Also, yes, part lumberjack.
And last, but most definitely not least, is our GM extraordinaire, Fluffy Snowfall. She is back and ready to continue taking us on our trek through Barovia.
The campaign soundtrack brought to you by My Chemical Romance and Green Day. Last time, the party successfully defeated the champion of the Druids, the gigantic tree blight known as Winter Splinter, and recovered one of the many lost, enchanted gems that the Martikovs need to run their winery. They defeated an archdruid of the clan as well, and attempted to take down some sort of unholy bleeding tree. However, it seemed that their attacks were very short-lived, as the tree would scab over any previous wounds, seemingly undoing the damage that they did. Many of the party fell to some sort of temporary madness, afflicted from the tree in retaliation for attacking it. Realizing they may be a little bit over their heads in dealing with that, they began to make their way through the volatile woods back to the Wizards of Wine winery to basically announce that they have done what they can with the Druids. On your way back through the woods, the path that seemingly was carved into the trees was no longer there, as if the forest itself moved to cover them up. We're going to start, if everyone would like to roll me a survival check, please.
I mean, not really. I'm not very good at that.
Better than average, I'll take it. No, actually, below 9 plus 2.
Nanaha, on your return trip, you do still notice remnants of the wolf tracks and footprints that lead into the woods that you had passed just shortly out of the winery.
Nanaha points it out to the group.
We can check on those later, I suppose.
At least they're still there. Everything's kind of a little weird around here.
You mentioned last week that the javelin was gone, or do we see that now that the javelin was gone?
The javelin was gone.
Okay.
And something I do want to stress, Lumi. The tracks are barely there. It's basically over time they've been tamped down or blown over. You're not sure how long you'll really be able to have them there as a landmark.
I'll claw at the tree some more and make it a bit more obvious where this is.
Well, you clawed at the tree for the path, not the ones
True.
for the wolf tracks.
I know, I'm gonna do it now
Okay.
and see if that lasts.
All right.
How close are we to the winery?
You are half a mile away.
Do we want to investigate this now or try to even, like, I don't know, make more marks for it? I'm worried that this will fade.
If they're fading that much, wouldn't we have to follow them now, or won't you lose the trail further on?
That's why I'm bringing it up. I just know that we've been knocked around a bit. How is everyone doing?
I've been knocked around quite a bit. Remind me why we care about a wolf trail in the woods.
Might be more druids. Might come back later with something even nastier.
When you were heading out, you also did hear at these wolf tracks. You heard the sounds of battle in the woods, and the footprints are deep and heavy, and it looks like somebody in heavy armor was stomping through here.
Also, if they're fighting the wolves, maybe it's an ally or something akin. It's hard to make friends here.
Well, I don't know about the spellcasters, but after the short rest, I was able to pretty much patch myself back up to fighting fit.
Right, Leo?
Curious. Remember when we saw the guy on the ghost guy skeleton horse thing? Didn't we, with the Taraka reading, didn't that lady mention something about a ghost?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. The ghost
yeah.
card. A fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights. He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair.
Is there a dragon's lair around here that he's just haunting from?
Could
Well,
be.
I was told that up in the hills to the south of Valaki, there was rumors of a dragon lair. Your friend Erwin was the one who told me.
But that's a ways from here, isn't it?
All the earth looks the same to me, so your guess is as good as mine.
It's about 5 or 6 miles from here.
It could be him, but he'd be really far afield if it is.
Well, I can try to give us an aerial perspective of, just the general area and see if the wolf tracks lead to anything.
True, you could fly and follow them and see where they go, and if trouble comes, new them back.
Something I do want to stress, when you've done kind of the aerials before, Pocket, the forests in here are very, very thick, and it's hard to see through the tree line at that altitude. So you're not entirely sure an aerial would get you anything in here, potentially.
That was my next question.
What's the time of day here?
It's starting to get into later afternoon. You probably have a couple hours till sundown. Shouldn't take you too long to get back to the Mardikov's winery.
Okay. Well, obviously we don't want to get caught out at night here. if everyone's in okay shape, I guess we can take a look and just be ready to bail if we need to bail.
I'm
a little
fine.
hurt, but I'm if most people want to check it out, considering how close it is to their winery, I think now's the time.
I'm gonna
I'm well enough
bandage
saved
myself
for
a little.
the holes the ice storm tore in my robe.
I am at like 17 HP, so I'm gonna heal myself real quick.
Okay. If you use your healing kit, mark down a use and go ahead and roll.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the button because it's been a while. Anybody remember how much I'm supposed to be using that? Let's see.
Isn't it like 1d10 plus your level?
Is this something that's in a book, or is this something that Fluffy ruled on earlier?
It's the heal. It's 1d6 plus your level.
Thank you.
Plus additional HP equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice.
That last sentence didn't make sense.
So it's 1d6 plus your level plus their level. So if you're healing yourself, it's 1d6 plus twice your level.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, okay. That's 11 HP.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel comfortable going.
As you wrap yourself up like some sort of bright red mummy, you are able to comfortably head on in.
Before we walk in, I'm going to give myself 3 points of lay on hands as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you guys need healing? Verity still has 5 spell slots left.
Too late. I'm at 28 out of 35.
I'm okay. I've got 30 hit points.
You should still have the 10 she gave you for the thing. Do you really only have 25 HP, Namaha?
28 out of 35 naturally. The 10 got already burnt up. Remember, I got knocked out.
Right, but the aid spell temporarily increases your max HP by those 5 or 10 that she used. So if
I
you
could have up to 45 if I fully healed.
Right. So you're kind of at half hit points.
Yeah.
I'm at just under half of my my regular maximum, and about the fourth of my temporary maximum.
All right, you two, come here. Well,
Coming.
She probably doesn't sound so angry when she says it. Sorry.
No worries.
Are we actually going to follow the wolf tracks?
Yes.
Yes. Now hold
God.
still. she puts one hand on Lumi's shoulder, one hand on Pocket's shoulder. Burns 1 sorcery point to twin her her cure wound spell. So we'll roll 1 for Pocket. Boop. And we'll roll 1 for Lumi.
Well, we know who Verity
Sorry,
cares
Lumi.
about.
Not Nanaha.
It's not my fault.
Not
At least I have chicken.
Nanaha.
Besides, Pocket, I didn't think you, big strong cat, would be afraid of a couple little puppies. Would you?
Puppies are horrific!
Oh, but
They
puppies are
slobber
sweet.
and bark and bite and they piss everywhere.
Shh.
Pats Pocket's head.
Pocket, please mark down 1 negative inspiration.
You have offended the god of the DM.
And now there will be corgis that chase Pocket 3 miles away.
Permanent corgi nightmares.
I'm only teasing. All right.
So we're going, and Axel just kind of starts walking the path that he can see that was pointed out.
Nanaha scoots in front of Axel because she can see it better.
You make your way through, good way into the woods. You do hear the sounds of branches creaking and movement, but nothing seems to be encircling you. You find several corpses of wolves laying about the woods in various states of decay. There are signs of a battle. Some of the trees are broken. And you see a rusty longsword stabbed through what looks like one of the larger, almost horse-sized wolves. And there, in its hilt, is a chipped and slightly broken emblem of a dragon in flight.
This looks promising.
Are there any wolves about?
Not that you're aware of.
I missed the front half of that description. I'm sorry. So you said it was like a sword that was like buried to the hilt in a large wolf with the ornate
Yes.
handle? Okay. Or
Yes.
something was lodged in a
And-
wolf with an ornate handle.
Yeah, no, it was a long sword, rusty and old with age, as well as several wolf corpses strewn about.
Sure. I try to like withdraw the sword from the wolf.
It is a wet and squishy business, but you were able to do so.
Can we tell how long the wolf has been dead?
I will say, roll a medicine check.
Axel's not a vet.
Yeah, Axel, it's
Nope.
I'm not getting close, so I'm not rolling.
considering how like coagulated the blood is, it's been probably weeks.
Ew.
Nanaha, you, however, take a look and kind of see some of the state of decay. You remember having to look after some of the animals back at the circus and, patching up wounds and all the fun behind the scenes stuff. About a day or so, which kind of tracks up to when you heard the sound of fighting in these woods.
This is relatively recent. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, whoever was doing it, its gear can't be in great shape if this is what they're leaving behind.
Well, do you want to leave behind the good stuff? Nah.
Well, no, but they're clearly fighting with this.
I'm going to climb a tree and to just keep a lookout.
Okay, roll me an athletics check, please. Wait, you have a climbing speed, don't you?
Yep.
All right, then. Never mind, climb away.
Is there any sign of the way the survivors went?
I would say you'd have to roll a new survival check at this point.
Oh, well, Raz isn't looking. He's asking the people who know their way around the woods.
I'll check. Shrugs, I don't know.
Unfortunately, no. A lot of the fight seems to have kind of scuffed up the forest area here. There's branches broken off trees covering the ground. There's wolf bodies strewn everywhere. It's hard to find where the footprints started.
Saya, what do you think?
About a bunch of wolves being murdered?
Sure.
I mean, we're in the woods, and there's a bunch of druids about, and the random thing. I can have Mogget take a look around, if you'd like.
Pocket's still got a casual fear of the mention of werewolves. Do any of these wolves look larger than regular wolves?
I mean, there's the one that the sword was buried in. That was a very large wolf, almost the size of a horse.
Holy shit! I mean, interesting.
Big boys.
Yeah, definitely in the tree doing lookout.
Is Pocket
Okay.
gonna come back down from the tree?
You don't see any other wolves. Seems to be pretty safe right now, Pocket.
Gonna stay in the tree for a little bit.
Do you need some twigs to set up a nest?
Shut up!
Oh yes, that is a joke because he can turn into a bird. Ah yes, I understand that. Very clever.
Well, all right. So this looks like it might be a dead end here. Maybe the Martikovs recognize the symbol on the sword, can point us to who left it, or at least some history, maybe.
Definitely worth bringing back, if nothing else.
All right, come on down, Pocket. We should probably head back before it gets dark.
That's fine. Get down and follow the group.
Axel will keep you safe. Don't worry about it.
Gone! Full sprint to the fucking vineyard.
Okay, we can't make that much haste, but he's probably got the right idea.
I just hope he doesn't run into a tree. There's a lot of them around here.
Don't wolves hunt in packs like one will scare
Full sprint.
the
I am
prey into the rest of the pack so that it's tired when it gets killed? Shouldn't he stay with the group rather than run off on his own?
Probably, but good luck catching him.
His cousin George had the same problem.
Pocket, roll me a dexterity save.
Oh no. I don't think so, Val. He moves very fast.
You run face first into a rather thick-looking oak and take 3 bludgeoning damage, as you weren't really looking where you were going when you started bolting.
How far did he get away?
6 feet.
About 20 feet.
Easy
So
to
we
find,
all
at
got
least.
to see it and hear it.
Yep, you all hear a loud thunk.
Get the wolf!
Saya's gonna look at Axel. Sounds like your cat found a tree.
Yeah. Axel goes, walks up to him and just picks him up off the ground.
Nanaha's laughing so hard she's wheezing.
We gotta go!
Just, hang on, Pocket. Just circle up with us. We'll be safe as a group. But let's make haste. You do have the right idea.
I mean, if those wolves would make excellent pelts and help keep us warm at night.
Wolf pelts also sell well, don't they?
I don't know about the ones around here. They look a bit decayed. But fresh ones, sure. I also remember everybody's been eating wolf steaks.
What do you guys want to do? The number of howls begins to intensify.
Oh, I think that we're all moving as we're having this discussion. Like, if we get jumped, well, at least we'll have things to do with the wolves after.
All right.
Yeah, dinner and clothes.
Why don't, if you guys are actively trying to avoid the wolves, everyone roll stealth checks, please.
Oh God.
Raz is not trying to actively avoid the wolves.
It's okay. Axel's carrying a 7-foot-tall tabaxi, and so he can't.
I just meant pick him up, set him on his feet. Axel is wearing heavy armor.
Clank, 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 clank.
The howls continue on, but the party is able to make their way back to the trail leading back to the winery without being assaulted. But you do have a feeling of being watched.
Did we make it?
You do make it back to the winery. Kind of look back to see if you're being followed, and the only thing you can see in the dark tree line are a bright, piercing set of red lupine eyes looking deep into you before it turns back and walks into the woods.
I was going to say, Saya, fire off one of those blasts at it.
Eldritch Blast.
Blaze.
It
At
turned
this
away.
The winery seems to be getting mostly back up to speed. The bodies of the blights have been moved over to kind of like a compost pile, and you see a variety of individuals breaking up them into pieces, probably to use as mulch.
Are the Martikovs still out working, or are they, or you're just saying like that's what they've done?
That's you do see some individuals working. Not everyone here is a Martikov, but the majority of them are. You do see Davian kind of just overseeing the whole thing from kind of the front steps of the building.
So, as we approach, Axel will like raise up a hand and yeah, ho, Davian, we return.
It is very nice to see you come back in one piece.
It's very nice to come back in one piece, believe me.
How fared the trip to the south?
Not too bad. Raz, you've got the emerald, right?
This thing, and he holds out the purple like pine cone or green pine cone thing.
You see the old man's eyes light up, and like as quickly as his old bones can take him, he rushes over. You have
Russ holds it slightly higher than he can possibly reach, just to kind of show everybody, and then drops it down so he can grab it.
Yeah, and he picks it up. You have done us a great service. This is going to help make sure that there will continue to be harvests here.
Let's it's getting late. Let's adjourn, but I have some questions for you about the area here.
Yes, certainly, I can do that. You guys all kind of take a moment, and you see actually, you see Irina cleaning up some of the vine enclosures, and after she hears you talk, she kind of happily rushes over. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see you back safely.
Okay, out of character, did her voice just kind of morph into the toy makers?
No.
Wow, rude.
No, it just
not to me. It didn't sound like.
I just haven't
Not
heard her in a
me.
while. It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
clearly losing
no.
my mind.
Surprise! Was he Snoblinsky all along? As he pulls off the arena mask.
Best work ever.
Blinsky would have gotten away with it too if it was not for you meddling adventurers.
Okay.
Damn cat too.
10 out of 10. Best campaign.
Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm so glad that you all made it back safely.
We are happy to be back safely and see you again.
Verity starts. Sorry, still recoiling off the Scooby-Doo reference, but Verity starts casting mending as quickly as she can to patch all the holes in her robe from the ice, from the sleet storm that knocked her down, so she doesn't look like a bum.
Hey, can you help me with my clothes later, Verity? They're kind of a little dilapidated looking.
Shh, yes, of course. Yes, of course.
So you guys are all kind of brought inside, and you have a moment to breathe inside of the fermentation room.
I've gotta grab my cat real quick. I'll be right back.
Pocket, make an acrobatics check to avoid being grabbed.
Oh God! I'm out of here.
Nevia was not able to grab you.
That's fairly true to life too, I think.
Pocket's just one of those liquid cats that pours out of your grasp.
Accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, though, in the house, I'm going to find some place, like a corner, where I can like keep my back to a wall and like just observe, because I'm still got some adrenaline coursing.
Okay.
Don't play with it, Nanaha. You'll just make it bigger.
Well, can you help me, please? It's
Yes,
just kind of
yes. And
comforting.
she's gets over there and just kind of, I don't know how you cast mending. I just imagine she sort of just like kind of runs her hand over like the whatever the material is, and it closes up behind her. How does that spell work? Even do you just point at it and it fixes?
It's really however you want. You can point at it and it fixes. You can run your spell casting focus over it, and it kind of like undoes the damage, like it's rebuilding itself. However you want to flavor it.
We'll do that
You could
because
even have little bugs do it if you wanted to.
Gross,
You work
no.
with creatures.
No, it's fine. Her spellcasting focus is an enchanted quill, so it's almost like being tickled with a feather.
I'll take that. Insert giggles here. Thanks. I don't think I could find replacements here. All their clothes are kind of drab on average.
What you mean? The gray cloak that I have from here is not high fashion?
I'm just saying I don't really see the color red unless it's blood around here, I've noticed.
You know, I'm standing here, and dye is not really something we get a lot of.
I know,
Just saying, Miss Judgy Pants.
I know, and I'm not saying it's your fault in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying I turned this to dust. I have no clothes.
I think they could actually probably make a really nice purple.
That we could.
But yeah, I mean, it's nothing against anything. I just know that finding more red silk would be very hard. Nothing against anyone, really.
Wait, she's wearing silk? Okay, proletariat.
Hey, it's good, it's hard to break, and I got it from where I lived last. It's the only thing I really own. This gets ruined, I might as well run around in my undies.
Well, Verity, you and I have seen someone who was wearing fairly nice red, it might have been silk. He visited us in the coffin maker shop. I'm sure he would have lovely clothes for her.
She sort of gives him this sort of like, the mom stare, the same one you would get when you, say, oh, I don't know, hold the gem just over an old man's reach.
Nanaha's not following it and is just like, yeah, but I don't think they want to part with their stuff. Not paying attention to who was wearing the lovely red clothes.
Speaking of fancy clothes, the clothes Strahd was wearing were pretty fancy, weren't they?
Well, he is the boss man here.
I'll pull out my Strahd ventriloquist dummy. Is it like fashioned to have similar clothes to what Strahd was wearing?
Yes.
I forgot he got that.
I'm gonna
Strahd,
puppeteer it a little bit. Bleh! I have fancy clothes and I don't share with my people. Bleh!
You do realize he's probably watching you right now, yes?
I'm gonna turn the doll to Verity and be like, "Fuck Strahd!"
Well, maybe he'll
And then
enjoy the
cower and put it away.
performance. He has to be very bored.
You're getting quite the chuckle out of Davian.
You'll excuse us. We've had a very rough day.
Understood. Do not worry.
Or they're all just insane.
I mean, part and parcel, I guess.
Nanaha probably still smells like burning hair.
I mean, most people, you could say one. You can't have one without the other.
True.
Well, while we have you, at Yester Hill, there was like a stone hinge around the top that was being like repeatedly struck by lightning. Is that a fixture there?
He kind of strokes his long beard. As long as we have been in the valley, it has been that way, yes.
Okay, we weren't sure if the druids were doing that or not. We just want to make sure.
How about
That
the
we-
giant Strahd statue?
We have seen that before, yes.
All right,
And
let's
the
go. Cricket.
disturbingly old woman flying around in what looks to be an upside-down skull?
That one, he looks. You actually. Wow, I am impressed. You had an encounter with the old crone and lived. How have you heard of the legend of Baba Lizaga before?
I
I haven't.
Mm.
Story
Raz's
time.
book comes out and he gets ready to take notes.
I'm gonna go get close and listen and excited.
He kind of gives a look over the party. She's older than many of us know. Older than recorded history, perhaps. She lives in the ruins of the village once known as Berez. Some say she is an avatar of Mother Night. Say she is Spite incarnate. What is true is probably somewhere in between. Her and her scarecrow creations lord over this swamp that is Berez. And if she has put a mark upon you, as it seems that she did with her visit, she does not tend to forgive transgressions, and has been known to go to quite a lot of effort to enact revenge for slights given to her.
Fortunately, we didn't do anything foolish, like shoot an arrow at her.
So, like, yeah, like if someone just like shot an arrow, like just hypothetically speaking, like would that be a bad thing?
Hypothetically speaking, this hypothetical person you are speaking of would probably do best to learn how to be a light sleeper. Hypothetically speaking, of course.
I mean, yeah, but, like no one would actually do that.
Well,
I'll
we
go
need
back
to
to
go
my
to
corner.
Perez anyway, right?
That is correct. That is where we have found the other known gem to be brought to.
Well, that explains why you haven't gotten it yourself, at least. And then also there's like a bleeding tree on that hill. Has that also been there for
It has been here as long as my family has. I do not know its history. We avoid it out of carefulness, if anything.
Sure, absolutely. So that doesn't give you guys. It was just the druids that were pushing you out, but the normal activity up there is fine. I mean, not fine, but Barovia good.
Yeah, as fine as it can be. Yes.
All right, to finish off the odd level of questioning, we found this really weird sword embedded in a wolf. Do you know whose this is? Shows it off.
He gives a look. That is. That is interesting. Let me think about it for a moment.
By all means.
He kind of looks at it. I do not know much of the history of this weapon. I can tell you that. I can tell you that it once belonged to an order of knights that were part of Barovian history many centuries ago. All I know is that this is the emblem of the Order of the Silver Dragon. The rest of it, however, I do not know where their final resting place be. I am sorry, my friends.
That's okay. Any information is good information.
It's interesting. We had heard some news about, or not some, but some rumor of an order of. We've heard reference of this order before, but it seemed he'd be relatively far from where we thought he would be, if that sword was found by you.
Potentially, I do not know. As I said, I do not know where their resting place was. Somebody who knows, perhaps a hunter may have found it somewhere and used it out of defense. I'm sorry, I cannot give you much information.
Oh, that's quite all right. I was mostly speaking to myself anyway. Thank you for all your help.
Actually, if we're just asking this person all these questions, do you know where we might find amber doors?
And he thinks for a while. There is a temple atop Mount Gakis. It is the highest point in the valley. And he points over and you see this large mountain off in the distance. Through the veil of fog, you can sort of see the snow-capped peak. There is a temple there, and he points. Maybe that is what you are speaking of.
Would you say the mountain's name again? Mount. I heard a G name, but
Gakis. Ghakis.
Thank you.
The map has been updated for where that is to show you where it is.
Oh,
That's
God. Okay.
quite a ways.
That is the only mention of amber in the entirety of the valley that I have ever heard any history of.
All right, we've been given a couple of clues as to our fates, and a set of amber doors was one of them. So I figured, since you have such knowledge, and you might have known something.
Well, I hope that is the information that will help you find what you need. And come, it is getting dark. Let us have some time for you all to rest. And Irina kind of helps gather everyone's things and gets you all inside. Before you all go to bed that night, Irina kind of appears and knocks at the doors to the rooms you guys are sleeping in. Davian told me to give these to one of you. And she holds out a grayish cloak, and there's a lot of weird, almost like the best way to describe it is like Girl Scout patches all over it. And there are several various items on there. One is a pile of rope, one is a lantern. There is, like, you see a patch with horses. There's one with some dogs, a rowboat, various things attached all over it. He told me that this is in payment for the service that you have done for the vineyard. It is a magical.
Did Fluffy cut out for anyone else?
Yeah.
She
It's a
did.
magical.
Yeah. Sorry, internet blip. It's a magical cloak that the family has had for many generations, and well, Davian thought it would be best to give to you as payment.
Well, that's very kind. Thank you very much. I'm sure we can put it to good use. What is its use?
If you
Disappeared again.
Man, we're all having a day. My cat is in a hell of a mood.
Do you want me to come grab baby? Oh, you've got her. I see on stream now.
Yeah, she's been chewing on me because she does not want to be held.
All right, so you guys have a robe of useful items. I would like someone to write down the information. I will post it in the Roll20 chat. Those are the patches that you have available to you with this cloak.
Wow, that's huh.
Yo, that's some gear.
We
Yeah.
finally have some money.
We have potions of healing.
Now, if
Yeah.
we give this to Pocket, would we have to change his name to Patches?
Maybe.
Wow.
That's
'Cause
racist.
technically there is patches full of gold.
It's true.
The window, is that just like an actual window?
Yep.
We should
there's two
really
windows?
stick this
Yeah.
on Pocket.
Yeah, so window 2 feet by 4 feet, up to 2 feet deep, which you can place on a vertical surface you can reach. So, okay, does that, like, if there's a wall and you put the window there, does it turn into a window, or is that just like if there's a hole in the wall, you could fill it with a window?
I think the implication is that you place it on a wall and a window will form there.
Okay.
That is how I've always played it as well. It's like a patch that you put there, and then it expands magically to create a window in that space.
That's how I always assumed it was too, but I've never actually used or given this item.
I will rule that the window cannot be placed on a magically protected surface.
That makes sense.
So You couldn't go over to like Castle Ravenloft and slap it in Strahd's bedroom.
No voyeurism.
The question is, why would you want to?
Why wouldn't you?
I was gonna say, you looked at Strahd on the cover art, right?
Eh.
Now that we know Saya's preferences.
Actually, Saya is Ace. And probably
Here-
Arrow.
Here is for
Probably.
everyone, if you would like to get a look.
Look at that handsome boy.
I mean, his expression just makes me think he's just an ass.
Definitely is a better than you face, and I love it.
Nice red silk there.
Yeah.
I'm wearing more red silk than Strahd is, I think.
Maybe.
So, are we giving Pocket the robe? Is that the plan?
Can we give it to somebody like who won't panic and just like rip like shit out of it? You know, a ladder suddenly.
I was
Well,
thinking
you could take it.
it might go to Raz, especially because we know that, well, I know that Axel has Find Seed.
And Verity already has her cloak of protection, so.
There you go, Rez.
Why would I need a robe of things?
Well, it's a Fluffy said it was a cloak, wasn't it?
It is a cloak, yes.
Considering that Nanaha would be the second fastest of us and has that kit for healing, among other things, why wouldn't you give it to her?
That's a fair point too.
You can also stick me in it, too.
Gives you some extra cloth to protect your red silk too.
True.
That was also going to be my point, is that it would help cover up all of her red.
So I have to ask, Lumi, how long until you immediately rip the dog patches off?
A while, at least.
Is
Pocket
that-
really has to tick me off.
Are they
Is that-
permanent?
2 patches of one dog or 1 patch of 2 dogs?
It's a patch of 2 dogs.
Okay.
I won't lie, that may or may not have been the reason Raz would not want it, because Mez would not have been able to resist.
I was more so saying for Lumi's penchant to always want a pet puppy,
It's true.
less so than the making fun of Pocket thing.
Also true. But yeah, I can wear it. I don't think. I mean, I can wear that and use the staff, I think.
You get 3 slots for attunement, and I don't even know if this cloak is an attuned item or not.
It is not.
Well, there you go then. Sure.
Yeah. So just for your awareness, anything that has a number is a single patch. So you pull off a patch of potions of healing and you have 4 potions.
Cool.
Do we know if the item, like, are they permanent items? Like, do you have a certain amount of time to use the thing once you pull off the patch?
They are permanent.
Good to know.
Just got to remember that there's only 1 patch of each. Or at least it looks that way.
No.
Well, I'd consider for the potions of healing, why wouldn't we use those patches and spread
Oh,
out the
2 of each
potions so that
patches.
we can all...
Yeah, there's 2 patches of potions of healing, 2 patches of windows, and 2 patches of pits.
Well,
I
why did you do
think-
it? Oh, go ahead, Raz. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, like Pocket was saying, I think we could at least pull one of the patches of those potions and give at least a little bit of healing to those of us who can't heal ourselves, or to help bring someone back up if they fall. And the spell scroll, I think maybe see what it is first so we know who to give it to.
Thank you, Irina, for bringing
I
this
don't
to
think
us.
so. Before Irina
Yeah.
leaves, are we going to discuss where we are going in the morning? And if so, maybe Irina should be included in this conversation?
Agreed.
Well, I guess I don't know. We can either go to Kresk or see if my brother had any sort of luck getting you all back into Valaki.
Have you heard from your brother?
No, not really. It's only been a couple days since we left.
That's fair.
Valakai was not as protected as I think everybody was hoping, and I think getting you into Kresk would be the safest choice.
I am fine with that. I know there was also something about that old tower you all wanted to investigate as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
once we get to the next town, I can fly back, and at least go meet with Urban and see if your brother has gone back to the inn or what's gone on since we left.
That is not a bad idea.
You could always. How many times can you birdify yourself in a day?
As many times as I like, but it's just weird to do because I leave all my stuff behind.
Well, I was thinking maybe you could birdify yourself in the morning while everybody's getting ready, fly over, talk, come back.
It's a little bit of a ways. I mean, it'd be a few hours before I came back. And if you guys are just waiting here all that time, I mean,
Can you ping Kresk on the map, Fluffy?
Yes, of course. 1 second. My map is being very weird.
I got it.
Okay, so Kresk is to our north here. Okay.
hmm I'm also putting the town names up there for easy reference.
Oh, it's spelled like okay. All right.
Oh yeah, I didn't have Kresk spelt right in my notes either.
Oh, it's fine.
It's more rad with a Z anyway.
I actually spelled it right. Yay for living in foreign places in my life.
Well, I'm
All
just
right.
thinking we've added a number of places on our if we feel like a visiting list. Do we want to get Irina to Kresk first or do something for ourselves for a change?
My only concern is if we walk into a wizard's tower or to the ruins of Berez. Not that Irina is incapable, obviously, but I don't know if she's necessarily signed up for what we're doing. If you know what I mean.
If the plan is to go to Kresk, what I can do is I can stay here at the vineyard and help them out. And if you want to go to the tower, it's not that far of a detour.
Worst case, we could investigate the tower, and that would give time for the wine to get to Kresk to announce our arrival.
Yeah, Irina has a good point. What if going to Kresk immediately opens another problem we need to handle, and that delays our other plans further?
This is a good point, and the tower is not far from the fork that we would take to Kresk.
No. The tower is about 2 to 3 it's about 3 miles from here.
Are they at least treating you well here?
It's fine. I've learned a lot about winemaking that I never really had the opportunity to back home, so it's been I'll say it's been a very interesting diversion.
She's on the field trip. Oh God! All right.
Very well then. If you don't mind staying at the vineyard for a couple more days, we can use this opportunity to see if we can find a way to get ourselves out of here in that tower, or at least a way to help get ourselves out of here.
Of course. You all have been hired as my protectors, so... But it is also not your job to be my babysitter. So if there are things you wish to do, by all means.
You got it, Nikolai.
I also do like hanging around with you. Just saying.
Well, that is very... I appreciate that. It is not often I've had the opportunity to make friends in this valley, so it is nice to actually have some for a change.
I can agree 100% with you on that one.
So tomorrow we make for the Wizard's Tower on the lake then? Is that the plan?
I think that's the plan.
I think that sounds fine with me.
Very
Sure.
well.
Are you guys going to pull off some of those patches tonight, or...
Pocket's vote is to pull off the potions of healing and spread them out so that we can either get people up if necessary, or if you're already at, 5 or less, heal yourself.
So I'm okay with doing that.
Okay.
It might be easier, or it might be worth just taking one of them off, because it'll be easier to carry in patch form than in bottle form.
Well, 1 patch equals 4 potions, so take 1 patch.
Right. I just thought Pocket said take them both off. If we don't need all 8 right away. Because I can heal people, Verity can heal people.
Yes, it
I
works
can at
most
least-
of the time.
I can at least get away from people in a fight without getting hit, so
Right.
if I have a potion to be able to run to someone to get them up, I think that just helps.
A potion
Okay.
would, yeah, like Saya
Yeah.
gets max HP out of all healing dice now, so
Well, ironically enough, there's 4 of us here who can't heal themselves. And 1 patch is 4 potions.
That's a good call.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, are you also going to remove the spell scroll?
Yeah, we should probably see what that is and who can use it.
Okay. When you rip off the patch of the scroll off of the cloak, pulls into a yellowed parchment you unroll, and it is for the spell Knock.
Hell yeah!
I don't even know if that's on the warlock.
Who needs a
list.
spell to knock on a door? I'm going to knock on the door. I can do that myself.
Spellcasters in the group, who wants it?
I don't know if that's on the warlock spell list, so I might not be able to cast it.
It looks like it would only be Verity that can use it.
Gives it to Verity. This will probably be useful later.
Out of character, I thought the purpose of the scroll was that anybody could use it, because it's on a scroll.
You have to make a check if it's not a spell that you could normally cast, I think is how it works. But yeah, you can't just make a scroll and give it to somebody who has no idea about magic, because there's a trigger on it or something.
Yeah, well, Pocket knows nothing about magic anyway, so...
Well, Verity takes it and winds up to launch into a lecture about how the spell is not just about knocking, like Pocket just did.
Well,
Yeah,
then
the
why would you
problem
call
is
it knock?
Yeah, if it's not on your spell list, it's just a bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, so it's not on the warlock spell list, so
So there you go. Verity has a one-time, we really need to get into this door
Pocket
option.
can't get in. Please use.
That also
Ooh,
alerts
lucky
everybody in
Pocket
300
can't use
feet
it.
that we're trying to sneak in.
True.
All right, let me add that to my list of things.
Okay.
Pocket would be the cat to use that on a door that you're just on the other side of, to just say, I want to be in here, and then when he's in there, leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think Pocket should get thaumaturgy just to open and close doors just because he feels like it.
My backup, if he wasn't going to be a phantom, was that he was going to be an arcane trickster.
Arcane tricksters are really fun. I've played one before.
There.
Pocket uses Mage Hand to paw at the side of the door. Let me in!
Yep.
Just knocks all the things off the shelves from a distance just because he can.
Oh, the shenanigans are going to be real. Anyway, yeah, Pocket's going to go to a room and just take stuff off and go lay down.
Okay.
Okay, I can't actually drag it to my sheet anywhere for like scroll, so we'll just remember that she has one use.
Yep. I've got it marked on my own notes. So.
I'm
And the
trying to add
potions
the
of
staff
healing.
and failing.
The potions go to me, Lumi, Mez, and Nev.
Yes.
I assumed,
Yes.
based on the comment of 4 of us who can't heal ourselves.
And that's just a regular potion of healing.
Yep. 2d4 plus 2.
It's almost like you don't trust the crackling embodiment of death and poison to take care of you.
No, Saya totally does trust her. However, having a backup plan is always good.
Having everyone be able to bring up, say, the person who's supposed to do all the healing if they get, shot by lightning and got knocked down might be a good idea.
Excuse me, she ate the lightning like a champ. She even dodged it. Then there was a quite frankly, completely overpowered ice storm that wrecked her for more than her total HP.
That was a big cast.
It was a big cast, but it was either that or polymorph into like a fucking mammoth or something. So
And none
That
of
would
us,
have been amazing.
none
It
of us
would've
have
been,
a
but
way
it
to
would've ruined
dispel.
yeah. So that's why I went for the one-shot damage versus the, well, I guess the battle got reset.
That would have just been a game over.
Hey, at least you said mammoth and not giant gorilla, right?
Yeah.
The
things
strength
are
of
broken.
5 gorillas. Oh,
Yes.
I forgot. Before we go into our long rest or after or whatever, oh god, at the risk of like inflaming the chat, Verity needs to talk to Irina for a minute.
Do it.
It's not that kind of talk. Just oh my god. So like, she just kind of pulls her aside and she goes, what do you know about magic?
Not a lot, honestly. I know it exists. I know that it is something you can study or something that can come to you. Why do you ask?
So Verity does the briefest lecture she can on how some spells require certain reagents, and then she goes into how, when Nanaha fell, I felt really powerless to save her because I did not have what I needed, and the wealth of this land is very sparse. Unfortunately, you are kind of the most affluent person I know who might be amenable to helping us, and I was hoping if I could maybe borrow a diamond, or, well, if we need to use it, it won't come back, but I would be willing to pay you whatever you ask for it, or trade whatever you ask for it. I just, in the interest of protecting the rest of the party, so this sort of thing doesn't happen again, it would, I don't know how to ask for things like this. Is it working? I don't understand.
Can you make a persuasion check at advantage, please?
Oh, she's got advantage on her. Nice. All right. I mean, sure. P for persuasion. That is so fucking depressing.
That is so Verity. She's like, well, honestly, this is about the amount we were going to pay you upon completion of the job. So she, she pulls out a small pendant that she was wearing around her neck. This is something Father gave me, but you can have it. And in the center is a diamond that would be approximately worth. Revivify needs 300, right?
Yeah.
You can have this if this is what you need.
I do.
But
And if I
guess it'll
don't use
be-
it, I promise we'll return it to you.
Otherwise you can keep it. It was going, like I said, it is about what we were going to be paying you upon completion anyway.
Does it not have emotional significance to you?
It does, but honestly, honestly, I don't think it's going to be something I will necessarily need wherever I end up.
That's morbid. Thank you. But I will return it to you if we don't need it. As I'm not sure I am at liberty to dictate the terms of payment for the entire party, this is just something I kind of feel the need to do myself.
Well, I don't know about your friends, but if I was dying and the only thing that could bring me back was the payment that we were all going to be getting, I would be perfectly fine with it being used to not keep me from dying.
Yes, logically it makes perfect sense, but there are some members of our party, like Saya and Raz, who I am not sure where their moral barometer would point to.
Raz seems like a nice guy, to be honest, from what I've seen. A little troubled, but nice. Saya's a bitch, but in the nice way. Okay, I'm lying. She's tolerable.
She is tolerable. That is an excellent way to put it. Thank you. I'm sorry to have taken so much of your time. I will leave now. Thank you again. I said that. Thank you.
Wait, before you leave. She goes over and kisses you on the cheek.
What color is tiefling blood?
Whatever color you want it to be.
Well-
You'd probably just be a darker shade of what you normally are.
Okay, she's red, so I'm just like she turns like purple, and doesn't. Yes. Good night, and it just kind of like, sort of leaves, but you do, you do. She would notice that on the way back, her tail is kind of like swishing back and forth. And she kind of stuffs the pendant in her.
Sounds good. Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Considering, I mean, I think the timing is a little hilarious, but in the time that Saya's gone, wherever her bed happens to be sitting, while we were first clearing this place out, I had stolen a black quill. I'm gonna leave it there, leave it on Verity's bed, with like a little note that says, "I'm sorry, please don't hurt me anymore," and then go to bed.
Okay.
Wait, did he leave that on Saya's bed?
On Verity's bed, I'm sorry. Did I say
Okay.
Saya? I'm sorry. Verity.
You started Saya and then said Verity, and so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Verity tucks the note away. And she doesn't really display emotions, but if she could, she would look sad.
It's a gift. It's a little black quill.
Aw.
No, the gift is nice. The note is the sad part. For the record, DM, would that have been easier if I had not rolled, 1 and 2?
It was basically the DC was 10 based on how you presented your argument.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Yay, low DC.
I mean, yay for 8 plus 8 to persuasion is what I'm.
Yep.
That could have been bad.
Yep.
I mean, no. I just meant that I feel what I meant, Ms. Agus, is not that. I felt like I kind of sort of like crowbarred it out of her. I was kind of hoping she would be more amenable to the idea.
Yeah, no, I go based off of what you say. So if you present a good argument, the DC will be lower.
Oh God, I wish we could argue for things like logically, not just how she feels about letting the party down.
Logically, you don't want to let the party down, so I still say it matches up.
Okay, long rest. Oh, how many hit dice do we get back on a long rest?
Half your total.
Half your total, yes.
So
Hello,
if
I
it's
have 5.
Does
Help.
it make 3? Do you round up or round down if it's an odd number?
Down. Round down.
Or still pretty good.
Ouch, 2 then.
Yeah, everybody gets 2 back.
Wait, where'd Nevi go?
Disappeared.
Nevi's
into the
here.
ether.
I'm blowing.
Well,
I'm blowing
her
my
cam's
nose.
on.
Oh, okay. She just vanished from stream.
Yeah, I don't think we need to see that.
And in the morning, she will. Verity will kind of find Axel and just kind of like take him aside for a moment, and she'll explain to him what she did and how she kind of. What's the word for it? It's not co-opted. What's the word where she sort of like you take something into your own hands?
Took initiative is the only thing I can.
Well, she
Language
did.
is-
She
language
did
is
that.
weird.
She did that, and she explains to him, and she pulls down, the top of her, her robe to reveal that she's got the pendant on, and she explains the diamond. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry if I spoke for the group. Also, fun fact: Axel will get to see that there is a metal collar with a few links of chain around her neck that appears to have no way to unseal it, and actually looks like at some point it was welded onto her skin, as there are burn marks all around the edge, which is why she wears such a high collar.
So Axel like half notices that as he like blushes a bit and looks away when you start pulling your robe down.
Okay, she's not pulling it down. It's hanging around her neck, in like the hollow of her neck. She's not,
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, that's fine then. So Axel doesn't say anything about it, but he does notice it then. It was a good plan. I mean, if we end up needing it, that seems like a good enough reward, right? Like our work saves one of our lives. Let's hope we don't need it though.
And she's like, I just decided to tell you because you seem to be the most morally scrupulous of our party.
Thank you, I think. No, it was a good plan. It's a good idea. Thanks for looking out for us.
Yes, of course. It was the most sensible thing to do, after all.
Saya,
Yes.
while you were having your long rest, you have flashes of imagery. Not something that's completely foreign to you, but you get flashes of imagery. You see a shoreline to a deep blue lake. You see flashes of a small set of islands in that lake. And you get flashes of a cavern that seems to be underwater. Your vision has this like bluish kind of border around it, kind of like a hazy effect.
Like I would have been underwater.
Yes. And there is kind of this imagery of a humanoid figure hunched over. She seems to be... Well, it seems to be hunched over a stone table. You see a submerged arch in the background. And then you wake up.
Okay, so when I saw the islands, like, was that from the view of, like, outside of the water?
Yes,
And did I recognize it as, like, the lake around Valakai, or...
you did, yes. At least the shoreline you did.
Okay.
Because you remember when you saw the little girl's corpse sack basically float onto shore.
Okay. Womanish figure hunched over stone table under. There's a stone arch at the back.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to have, like, a notebook of notes on me, but I don't. So
You have you've felt your connection to your patron be a little diminished since arriving in this valley. It's been hard. Before here, you normally could directly interact with your patron / grandfather, but they have in the past sent you images of things that they wish for you to accomplish.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to mark these down. It's going in my allies and organizations tab because I don't have a notebook in front of me, but
That's fine. Whatever y'all need to do.
all right, but mentally, she's not going to say anything about this to the party yet, but she's going to, all right, well, that means I'm going to push Valaki, or returning there quicker, soon.
Mm-hmm. Pocket.
Oh no.
Hi. You don't really have the most restful sleep on record. You have a pretty rough dream. You see Axel in front of you, bloodied. You see the light leaving his eyes. You look, you see your other companions. They look aghast. You look down. You see your rapier covered in blood. And in the back of your mind, you hear a laughter. A thick, condescending laughter that shakes you to your very soul.
Does it sound like Strahd?
Yes.
I'm gonna fucking murder him.
You try to defend your actions in the dream, but no one's buying it. You get dragged off. You're not sure who is doing that, but you get dragged off by a group. Your wrists are clapped in irons, and you see Axel's limp, bloodied corpse get further and further away. Then you wake up. It's up to you if you wake up screaming or not.
Definitely running to Axel.
So this might be a little awkward because Axel's going to be like off with Verity right now. So Axel was not going to be in his room.
I'm just going to Axel and like cupping his face and like making sure that you're like okay and alive and checking your body.
Hey, buddy.
Are you okay? Okay, hold on, and check Verity the same way.
She's not. She tries to become a liquid because she's still got her robe down and the collar is out, and she's like, eh.
Okay, so you're both alive, right?
Yes,
Yes.
let go of me. Please.
Are you all right, Pocket? What's going on?
Bad dreams. Bad dreams. That's it.
Can the rest of you... Pocket, are you wearing any of your equipment, or did you just run out?
Considering that I take it off to go to bed, nothing.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Pocket, when you get back into your room, you see your rapier is dripping with blood.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the rapier and like touch the blood. Is the blood is it real?
It smears on your fingertips, tinting your fur a crusty red.
Fuck! Run out. Out of the room. First person I see. Do you see this blood?
Would he see any of the party, do you think?
Probably we'd come looking, hearing him tearing about.
You'd see Saya. Saya, you see his weapon is indeed coated with a very thick, dripping layer of blood.
Looks like you stuck someone good, Pocket.
But I didn't. That's the problem. I was dreaming. I had a dream that I killed you all. And where is everybody? Where's Irina? Where's Roz?
Well, what's going on? She looks outside.
Run up and cup her face. Are you alive?
I'm probably alive.
I'll go check on
Search
Rez
for
so he doesn't
wounds.
stab you.
Fuck. It should be illegal to be up this early.
Raz, being that he only has to sleep, trance for 4 hours, is actually outside, near the house, going through exercises and calisthenics. You actually see as he's working, shadowy ripples coming off of him, almost looking like multiple versions of him going through the exercises before they snap back into himself. And he kind of goes, resets, tries it again.
Okay. Saya would stay probably a good 10 feet away from him. Oi, Raz.
What?
Did Pocket stab you?
He kind of pauses for a second, and you see the gears turning, can he turn this to his advantage? But you see there's no wounds on him. No.
He apparently had a dream about killing us, and his rapier is in fact bloody, but, well.
Did he kill any of the family? We haven't left the winery. He didn't hurt me, though.
It's at this point that Verity will try to pry Pocket off of Irina before he turns her into some sort of weird blood sort of creature, and just take him aside for a second. Pocket. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say yes. Pocket did in fact smear blood all over Irina's face.
Before even paying attention to Verity, I want to run back to the room. Is there a blood trail to my rapier? Did it just appear?
No, there's the puddle underneath where it was being held. There's a small pool that has dripped underneath it.
So Axel jogs a little bit after Pocket. He's not going to keep up with him in any circumstance, but he's just kind of following him. It shows up to the room a minute or two later. Okay, Pocket.
Is this a communal room?
There's the 2 bedrooms.
Okay, sorry. Continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. Okay, Pocket. We're okay. If the Davian did just mention last night that you may have been marked by the crone and she likes to screw with people. But let's make sure everyone here is okay. And if they are, then we know that's what's going on, and we know to be vigilant. And if someone here is hurt, then we know that we need to figure something out about how to make sure you don't do that again.
You all are able to. Oh, go ahead, Pocket.
No, he's just stuttering and stammering, like looking at the blood, trying to compare, or like figure out if it was a dream or not. But yeah, go.
Saya, do we want to play a joke on Pocket?
I want to say yes. I very, very much do. But I fear the rest will not take it well.
Fine.
It's when you just say, April Fools. You all start looking around the winery, trying to find anyone. People going about their business. Davian shrugs when you ask if anything weird happened. No one seems to be injured. And honestly, Davian looks... Honestly, young one, that blade wouldn't even be able to hurt me if you tried with your full force.
But I wouldn't try. That's the thing.
He grabs the rapier and just presses it right against the palm of his hand. It doesn't go in anywhere. It's like his hand is made out of, like, metal. It's just not piercing.
What the fuck? I mean, curious.
And he hands it back. I was not worried. If I was worried, I would not have left you stay in the house.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Hey, Pocket, when are you going to be able to not get hurt by weapons? That'd be pretty useful.
It would, not gonna lie.
Well, when are you guys not going to be hurt by weapons? I'm going to go up to my room and with my bloody rapier, take out the Strahd ventriloquist dummy and stab the shit out of it.
Nanaha pokes her head in. You doing okay?
Fucking fine. Fucking hate this
Pocket.
guy. He's stupid.
Roll a attack roll against the puppet.
And they say I have anger issues.
Okay, roll your damage, and with a sneak attack.
God, he's about to stab himself.
Pocket, as you are taking out your fury on this ventriloquist dummy, you feel a sharp pain in your abdomen. And you take 8 points of piercing damage.
What the fuck?
Heck? You okay? What?
Ow.
Nanaha gently takes the sword out of his hands and looks at the wound.
It is a... roll a medicine check. That is definitely a piercing stab wound in his stomach. As if somebody stabbed him with a rapier.
Does it look self-inflicted? I mean, I guess it would be, but to her, does it?
It looks like someone else stabbed him.
Okay, I'm gonna take this doll away from you. I hope you don't mind.
I hate him.
We all do, hun. Don't worry about that.
Nanaha? As you go to reach down for the ventriloquist dummy, you see its head snap towards you and Pocket. I see you.
Nanaha just takes a nearby pillow and drops it on top of the doll.
The doll immediately goes limp after it says that and starts laughing.
She still feels better about dropping a pillow on top of it. Let's put that in a bag somewhere, okay?
Suddenly, it's child's play.
Pretty much.
Not scared of him. I'll put the ventriloquist, the dummy back in my own bag and put all my shit on and go join with the rest of the group.
Something to
gives him
note
a
it.
quick hug before he does it. Seriously, it's okay. It's okay.
Something to notice. When you went back with the bloody rapier, I assume you had cleaned it off a little bit. It
Right.
is now fresh blood again, dripping.
Like from the dummy, or like as if like it matches my own wound.
It matches it is dripping with your own blood right now, basically.
Well, time to bring. I'll explain my dream to the group. Explain me stabbing the dummy and not seeing that the doll laughed at us, and how I stabbed it and I got stabbed with seemingly my own rapier.
It didn't look self-inflicted.
I mean, I'm sure he probably didn't actually stab himself, but who knows what kind of fuckery Strahd's up to here? Or Baba Lasaga?
Baba Lazaga.
Lazaga, excuse me.
And yes, for the record, I've already heard people calling her Bobby Lasagna.
Yeah.
Axel is correct. Have you all forgotten when we were traveling on the road and we saw those corpses that looked like us? It's very clear that Strahd is able to inflict strange abnormalities of the senses in these lands.
Well, it's the first time he's hurt one of us with these senses that he's changing on us.
Yes, that is why I have been going out of my way to not provoke and taunt him.
Says the woman who's been flirting with Irina.
You don't know that.
Out of character, out of character.
He doesn't know that, I hope.
Don't worry, Pocket's been distracting him.
Best wingman ever.
Last to check and see if this is going to be a reoccurring thing, I'll clean off the rapier again and like stab a tree.
You poke your rapier in a tree.
And I'm fine, and there's not like blood on the rapier now.
No.
I mean, maybe some sap.
I
That's
say,
like
what
tree
about
blood,
sap?
right?
Yeah.
Sticky.
Okay, good.
There's a little bit of sap. I mean, it's hard to pierce a rapier that deep into a tree.
Okay. We can go. We can go.
You collect your things.
Before we leave real quick, I'm going to... I probably don't need to talk to Davian for this, but maybe just one of the Martikovs or like someone who's maybe looks like a watcher or a guard or something, just to see if they have some arrows that they can spare, because I know Pocket's running low.
Yeah, actually, you are able to get 6 arrows.
I take those back to Pocket and turn them around and just drop them in his quiver. Figured you could use a few more.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. You guys gather your things and collect your horse.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Oh, as we get ready outside, so Axel doesn't get in the cart as we're getting ready. What is it? So he does a little hand motion and then like does the like the middle finger and thumb like whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And we are casting Find Steed for an elk.
Okay. You reach out to Lathander, grabbing your holy symbol. You channel some of that divine energy, put your fingers together, and you whistle. And there is a flash of light as you see a figure emerging from kind of this glowing rift in front of you. You feel hot breath as it snorts. As the glow diminishes, you see in front of you a mostly skeletal shape of an elk. One of its horns is cracked and broken. There's flesh clinging to the torso and part of the hind legs, but the front two legs and head and neck are skeletal, almost bleached. The flesh has a bit of a decayed quality to it. It stumps its foot and lowers its head at Axel.
Is it supposed to do that?
So you can whistle and summon a dead thing?
Well, it's.
It's
I
not
tell you what,
supposed to be dead, is it, Axel?
I've never seen one of my brothers do this. Usually they get a normal looking elk out of it. Or I suppose it's not really an elk, but it's like a spirit of an elk. I guess it just manifests differently here.
Probably the same reason that Mogget looks the way they do.
I assume it looked like that just because you're dead inside. That was said so candidly and just so flat.
Oh,
Well.
Why do you provoke her? Why?
Sorry, Sai.
She just gives you a smile. It's not a good one. It looks like an Azula smile.
But yeah, so Axel pets his elk and makes sure that the bond is still the same.
The elk in front of you kind of lowers their head and basically slowly puts its muzzle in your hand.
Gross. I mean, aww.
Okay, this is going to be a little weird, but we'll get used to this. And I attempt to mount the elk.
Axel!
It lowers itself to let you get on and ride it, and there's no problem.
Good boy.
There's a little bit of slickness on your boots from a particularly soft spot in the flesh around the torso, but it does not seem to bother your elk in any sense.
Excellent. Well, this'll free up some space in the wagon anyway.
Yes, that it will. Well done? Question mark?
Agreed. I hopefully none of my brothers ever see this. I have a feeling that would be unpleasant.
It's unpleasant now.
So Irina's staying here, and we're going to this tower or something on a lake?
Mm-hmm.
Nearby.
I'm gonna go once again try to talk to the horse. Okay, so, pal, listen. Spooky shit's happening. We're going to this tower on a lake. I know you've had a great vacation day here, but we gotta go.
There's no elk, so this will do as a stand-in.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Very nice.
Okay, Pocket, roll an animal handling check.
Oh, here we go. How many HP can Pocket lose before we even set up?
Wow.
Minadora snorts and gently bumps her head against your hand.
But it
I
was
will pet
granite.
the horse and say, "Okay, thank you for helping us. I know we animal guys need to stick together."
Her name is Minadora of the Granite.
Minadora, you're beautiful.
Nanaha looks on approvingly.
All right,
I'll hop in the wagon.
onward.
Yeah, as they get into the wagon, Verity kind of gives Irina a quick little snug with her tail around the waist, trying to be sneaky about it, and then kind of, trots off to the wagon.
All right. You make your way back onto the old Svalich Road. And
Are we just not going to acknowledge that Uncle Val got the golden kappa in chat just now?
I mean, actually, it was rarer for somebody like HPG to have the regular kappa.
Oh. Never mind. I'm no longer excited. Carry on.
it's okay. You make your way heading through the dark, overhanging trees. There's a soft wind blowing, rustling the branches. There's a little bit of a whistle on the wind. Off in the distance, you see this looming tower almost groaning under its own weight as it stands defiantly over the lake shore. The entire time you were traveling, there is a distinct feeling of being watched from the woods. Something tailing you, following you. Anytime the party tends to stop, so does the sensation. Eventually, you come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and a rocky bluff. Thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail you are following off of the road ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy island with a stone tower. The tower is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side, where a large gash has split the wall, remaining like a festering wound. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered in moss, perch atop buttresses that support the walls. Parked near the base of the tower, within sight of the entrance, is a barrel-topped wagon splattered with mud.
Because it reminds me of one. Does that look like a Vistani wagon?
Seems to be.
They were the only other people who had wagons that we've seen, and they had fancy-looking clothes and wagons. So
Well, we
Wait.
also Fabio had a wagon too.
He did, yes. But this one is embellished with a bright purple.
Nanaha thinks it's pretty.
Is this one of the ones that has like a door at the back, or is it just open?
There's a door at the back, and the door is closed.
Okay. Axel is going to just knock. Hello? Is anyone here?
yep, Pocket follows behind Axel, knowing that's exactly what he's going to do.
Fluffy, I can't move Verity.
Oh, Well,
Wait. I was on ruler mode. I can move me. I'm dumb. You're fine. Sorry.
okay. You are forgiven.
Yay.
Removed.
Oh.
Yeah. As you get over closer to the wagon, you see under the layers of mud, there's a coat of purple paint. The wheels have a fancy gold trim about them. A brass lantern hangs from each corner, and red drapes cover a tombstone-shaped window. The back door, you hammer onto it. You see attached to a steel padlock is a small, cheap wooden sign that reads, "Keep out."
This looks abandoned, does it not?
Kind
More
of.
so, if it was abandoned, it'd be covered in dust. I'd say probably the owner's just nearby. Nanaha starts shouting, "Hello? Anybody here?"
There is something that looks like scaffolding in the back.
There is a rickety-looking rotting wood scaffolding wrapping around the back of the building. You periodically hear groaning and creaking as it sways a little back and forth.
Oh, do you want to explore the top?
No one responded at the wagon, right?
No one responded.
Well, can we try to just open the door?
Do you really want to go into somebody's house?
Isn't the wagon padlocked?
Yes, it is.
Don't worry, I gotcha.
If this does still belong to somebody living, that would be breaking and entering, Pocket.
I'm just saying, should we really be making enemies with somebody we haven't met yet?
We have the biggest enemy of all, always watching us and looming over us.
Yes, so don't we want to make allies? I think somebody is going to want to help you if you're found rifling through their stuff.
I mean, if they're here by this creepy tower, I just assume they're probably already dead.
I'm thinking they could be in the tower and they hear us.
Raz still has the scrap of cloth we cut off from the dead girl's clothes, right?
Correct.
Does that purple match this purple?
It is a very similar purple, yes.
Also, if we're going to show that to someone, we should find them at the end.
Lumi, you are basically we basically can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot to look right.
Sorry.
I was just saying, if we're trying to show something to someone, maybe not tick them off beforehand. Can you hear me now?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's well, we came to explore the tower. Maybe if the wagon is still here, or if we don't find its owner, we check it on the way out if it's abandoned. But yeah, the tower I think should be our primary goal.
So we are going inside then.
What if the tower belongs to somebody, and we're just breaking and entering in the tower?
Actively pay. That's just dirty. If we're going by that logic, our wagon's abandoned too.
Seeing that
Our
we're
wagon's
going in,
never abandoned. Minadora's watching it.
that's true, and my elk. Seeing as we're going into a relatively small tower, Axel is going to switch over to shield and spear.
Okay.
Also,
Sounds good.
if we are going inside, Verity's going to do the same thing she did yesterday and put a hand on Nanaha's shoulder, put a hand on Pocket's shoulder, and give us all 10 extra maximum hit points with an upcast of aid at 3rd level. Please enjoy the extremely discomforting darkness bolstering your physique.
It is a feeling I'm growing accustomed to. Thank you so much, Verity.
I'm unsure of sarcasm.
Not sarcasm.
All right, you approach the front door. Who's going to approach the door?
Axel will.
Okay. Axel, you get up to the front door. You see the tower is made out of, or the tower door is made out of iron. There's no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with 8 stick figures set around it. Carved into a small placard above the door is a word, Khazan. Khazan.
Anyone heard of a Kazan before?
Why does that name sound familiar?
I don't think so.
If everyone could please check their handouts, I have made the door handout accessible to you.
When we were listening to the story, with the Vistani, what was the wizard's name?
They didn't give him a name.
Maybe this him?
So
Axel,
are those symbols like words or something, or are they just a picture?
They're symbols. It's a picture.
Axel, does that circle move or do anything?
Axel goes to see if the thing moves or
But
any.
before you move it, I'd like to copy down this picture as it is in my notebook, just in case.
Good plan.
And he will take some time with one of the pages of his notebook and draw all the symbols as well as the lines in the order that they're going to, so that we have as best a representation as we can.
All right. Okay, Axel, you go to touch the placard?
Yes.
Could you roll me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh boy. No, I can't.
Sorry, disadvantage. You're wearing metal armor, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's scale. I assume that's metal.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll just roll a second one.
Yeah, thank you.
Solid plan.
Ouch.
Womp womp.
Axel, you take 19 points of lightning damage as a like almost shield of lightning forms around the tower.
All right. Well, Axel kind of jumps back. That's not the answer.
How curious.
Yeah, I didn't like that feeling either.
I would recommend everyone take a step back because the shield does encompass the entire building.
Okay, so just a thought. The totally not tarot reading. The Taraka reading for the. So look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide us to what we seek. So if the name is Kazan, who's the servant?
It could be a different lake.
Do you think there's more towers on lakes in this area? It seems pretty fitting.
Well, didn't Erwin say there was another tower out on the lake by Valaki?
No, this was the one he was
Malachi.
talking about.
Okay.
This is the one he was talking about.
Okay. Sai is going to shrug. I don't know about another tower, but my grandfather does seem to want me to check out the lake near Valaki instead of this one, so...
And okay.
Did Granddad have visions about lightning bolts?
No, I have some things underwater to check out.
Ah,
So Axel just kind of yells at the tower, "Hey Kazan, do you have a butler somewhere?"
There is no response.
Roz,
How long do you guys stay around the tower?
If it's more than 3 minutes of standing here, I do want to walk around the tower, like Ross did.
Yeah, the lightning shield is still remaining.
Roz, let me see your drawing, please.
And he will show it to Verity.
The symbols are kind of like I'm not good with symbols. They look are they like alphabetical? Because they almost look like people.
They do kind of look like people.
Does the scaffolding look like it leads anywhere?
The scaffolding leads to a hole in the northwest wall on the 3rd floor.
And the lightning shield is like surrounding the hole, like you'd have to pass through the lightning field to get into the hole, right?
Correct.
It almost looks like if you follow the lines, they're just moving their arms like up, down, and to the side in different patterns.
ooh, Roz, you should do this. I want to see this.
Really?
Roz
Verity?
kind of looks at Nana, like raised eyebrow, like, you expect me to dance?
It's your idea, and I will admit I do actually want to see this.
Okay. Roz. After about 10 minutes of you guys figuring all this stuff out, the shield does fade.
Or somebody can approach
What?
the door again. But I kind of still want to see that.
What will you give me if I do this little dance?
Oh, for the love of Verity snatches the notebook and walks up to the door and starts trying her best to like match, position herself with the symbols,
Hey, Macarena.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like it's awkward, but she just picks a point and just does them.
So should Verity roll a performance check?
Okay, Pounce, please tell me where you start, and just if you could give me, we'll say the top symbol is 1, going clockwise 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please tell me which one you start at and which one you're going to.
Okay, so the top one is 1.
Yes, the one to the left of it is 8.
Wait, is this actually going to matter? I thought it was okay. Oh my god. Oh shit, she was just frustrated and grabbed it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, the line does have a start and an end. So it looks like there's probably going to be 2 different dances, maybe one for open, one for close.
she turns around. That is surprisingly insightful.
He does have
She
a
leaves
14 intelligence.
She
does.
does. She leaves out the part for you, but so she says, "All right, very well." And so we'll start at like 8, right?
Okay.
The one right before the top, and we'll go down to the bottom one,
Okay.
and then so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then up to 1,
Okay.
and then 7,
Okay.
4,
Okay.
2,
Okay.
6, 3. So we're just starting from the left to and then following the line around.
Yes. Okay. Verity gets up in front of the door, starts, she puts her hands up perpendicular or parallel to her body, then puts her left arm down, puts both arms perpendicular to the ground, then parallel but facing down, basically doing a little shimmy dance as she goes through each symbol. And as you land on the final one, you hear a click as the front door opens.
You've got to be shitting me.
Very impressive, Verity.
You're
Good job, Verity.
good work, Ver.
Pause.
Wait. Let's add some spice to it. Hang on. Fuck. Yeah, she's as awkward as ever. Nice.
Yep, it's awkward, but it opens.
Before we go charging in, and Roz, please don't hurt me, but do you mind checking to make sure that we're not all going to get zapped again? I'd rather not do that again.
Fine. He kind of walks in, pushes open the door if it's closed.
The door is swung open.
Then he walks in.
You walk in, Roz, and the flagstone floor is strewn about with debris. There's a few old crates standing near the eastern wall. A torn curtain to the south partially obscures the vestibule as you walk in. There's a 5-foot indentation in the center of the floor, and you see a variety of iron chains leading up from that centermost point. You see a small hole in the ceiling, which is wooden and particularly rotten. There are 4 clay statues surrounding the room, attached to the chain.
I didn't get fried, so it looks like it's safe for everyone to come in. There's some weird statues holding some chains and such.
Alrighty then.
Well, it was technically your idea that they looked like people in motion, so feel free to go first.
Before we go in, I'm going to real quick cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
But what if we need you to smite yourself things?
Nanaha,
Yes, uh-huh.
when you walk in, the extra hit points go away.
Oh.
Verity, when you head in, aid fades.
Oh,
I follow in after Axel.
So Namaha leans over to Roz. So what would you have wanted to do with this?
I guess you'll never know.
Oh.
Hun,
And he kind of
please
gives her like a little smirk.
Hun, please remember to turn towards the mic when you talk. It's very hard to hear you.
I was turned towards the mic that time. How bad is
Okay. It's better now, thank you.
it? Sorry. But yeah, she's just going, oh, I wanted to know.
Does it look like there's a mechanism to like for these chains to raise this platform?
Potentially, yes.
Is there like do we see like a lever or anything on this floor?
You do not seem to see a lever with a cursory glance over.
I assume 8 also passed from me.
That is correct.
Nanaha's going to search the room for a lever.
Okay, roll investigation. You don't see any sort of lever or mechanism. You just see the 4 statues that the chain's attached to.
Dang it.
Is there anything on the back side of the door?
No, there is not.
Axel is going to inspect one of the statues just to see if there's anything special about them.
Okay, roll me a perception or investigation. You do see that there seem to be points of articulation on the statue.
Do the arms move? Like, does it look like the arms move?
It does.
Hey Verity, we might need to make the statues dance.
Why would you assume I have to do it? I opened the door.
Oh, I didn't mean you have to make them dance. I just meant that you did the dancing, so I talked to you. But is it
Again, it was Roz's idea, not mine.
That's fair. Do we maybe do it backwards for this?
So I
Before
want to see go for it,
moving
Axel.
the statues because of flashbacks to vampires and coffins, I want to search these boxes and make sure nothing's gonna leap out and attack us.
Okay, roll investigation. Whatever, you mostly just find rotten wood. Nothing really standing out.
Okay, good.
Okay, Axel, do you want to do the dance in reverse?
Well, I don't know if we need to do it or if we need to make the statues do it.
I suspect it is probably not so involved. If this is a lift of some sort, perhaps the statues need to be moving together in unison, perhaps in the direction you want the lift to go?
How precisely are we going to make the statues move?
Verity, as you say the word lift, the center platform begins to raise as you see the statues grab the chain off their back and begin to crank it up.
Oh, holy shit!
And Roz jumps onto the lift before it gets too far off the ground.
Make an acrobatics check. Nanaha, you are able to get on. Roz, you try, but your fingers slip off. Nanaha, you are now on the center platform as it lifts up onto the second floor.
Ooh, this is a new experience.
Don't die up there.
Stop! Pause! Break!
It stops at the second floor.
Look around.
If it went up when she said lift,
When you say lift,
Bring-
it starts going up to the third floor.
down, stop, down.
It starts lowering, and it does stop you at the second floor after Roz said down.
Down one
Nanaha.
more?
Okay, you're back down to the first floor. It's a very jerky movement, as these statues are literally pulling you up.
Right, everyone be careful with your choice of words now.
I admit I'm mildly disappointed that it is not as complicated as getting in, but that was kind of fun.
This definitely feels like a wizard's tower.
Gold. Damn it.
Good
Milk?
idea.
Rockets!
What?
I don't know, maybe it would have summoned another pocket. That could have been cool.
That'd been really cool.
Double pocket.
Well, shall we take turns moving to the next level?
How many people do you think could fit on this?
Just
It is
everyone takes a turn.
It is a 5 foot. You could probably get 2 people to fit on it if you were cozy.
Alrighty. Lift.
Wait,
Going by yourself.
just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do. Up at the second floor, Nanaha, you see that this room is more or less empty. Dust and cobwebs filling the room. The wood floor is partially collapsed. There's a bit of decay and smell of dry rot. You see some molded tomes sitting off in a corner.
Not really my thing. Lift one more?
You are pulled up another set of floors. Time and the elements have all but destroyed this chamber, leaving it a gash in the northwest wall, and slimy black mildew clinging onto the walls. The wooden floor is very rotten, and has kind of begun to start scattering in places. You see more books and very mildewed, what's the word I'm looking for? Mildewed furniture. There is a small chest in the bottom center of the room.
Does it still go up?
Yes. The chest is here, Nanaha.
Okay. Not sure if worth it yet, besides I'm not the rogue, so one more.
Alright. Unlike the levels below, this room shows signs of recent habitation. Although the place still reeks of mold and mildew, it does have plenty of creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with a matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron wood-burning stove. Light enters through arrow slits in the wall, through dirt-caked windows with broken shutters. Other features of the room are a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters creak and groan under the weight of the roof tower, which has somehow remained intact. Mounted to the rafters are pulleys around which hang iron chains to support the central elevator platform.
Nanaha is gonna look around, make sure it's safe to step there. Like, no, this place is magical. See if
Okay,
stepping
roll
further will do something fuckery.
roll an investigation check, please. All right. You look around the room. You see there's some fragments of paper in the wood-burning stove. Other things that stand out is there's the suit of armor and there's a strange lavender scent emanating from a wooden chest in the top left corner or top left side of the room.
Nanaha is going to gingerly step off the platform and tell it to go back down.
Okay. About a minute later, you see the platform descending without Nanaha as the statues spring to life.
While she
She's
was
gonna
going up it, is there anything below the
It's
platform?
okay!
There is nothing below the platform other than a small indentation for where it sits at the ground floor.
Who's
Raz
next?
hops on the platform next,
Okay.
leaving space for if anybody else wants to hop on too before.
Roz gave me a cloak. I'll climb on the platform and just like hug him. We have to be close. It's so small. I don't want to fall off.
And then he looks up to see kind of Nanaha looking down the shaft. Top floor, please.
The golems begin to spring to life once again, pulling on the chains, carrying you up the tower. Pocket, as you're rising up, you do see a small chest on the third floor on the southern side of the room. But
That's
the
before
journey-
the floor where Nanaha was.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm totally jumping off.
Don't mean to be insensitive, but how much do you weigh?
I mean, mostly just fur. So what, like 120, 130?
I mean, you are also 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
And
maybe like
gear.
150.
And gear, so
So apparently, the range of weight for a male tabaxi would be 130 to 200 pounds before gear.
okay. Pocket, as you hop off seeing this, the soft, spongy flooring beneath you gives way. You fall down to the second floor. Those of you on the those on the bottom level hear a cracking as you see bits of the ceiling above you start giving way. Pocket, you fall all the way down to the first floor. I need you to make me a acrobatics check, please.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy.
Can I attempt to help him by like catching? Well, I guess it doesn't matter, but
You could roll a dexterity save if you'd like to try.
all right. Let's see if we can help catch my buddy.
Curiosity.
Pocket, you do reduce your fall damage with that. You still take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you crumple into the stone floor.
No, not as bad of a landing as that could have been.
Oh, the landing was really good. It's just you fell several stories.
Oh yeah. I was just playing it up in character.
What did we learn?
That there's a chest up there, and I'm gonna get it.
For the love of... Verity looks like she's getting a really big fucking headache.
Not the takeaway I was looking for, but a reasonable takeaway.
So Roz is going to start examining the room that he and Nanaha find themselves in. Sans cat.
Excuse me, statue elevator men. Ground floor, please.
A minute later, you see the platform descending, and it opens, or well, it lowers down, and there you are. It is there.
Saya, would you like to ascend like a rational person while I see to these two?
Roz, go ahead and roll an investigation while they're doing this.
Saya will... It seems like she's probably preoccupied, but does nod and hops onto the lift.
All right. You do not see any strangeness outside of what I already described to Nanaha. You do miss the lavender smelling treasure chest, though.
Is all magic in general just dampened here? As in, if I try to patch up Pocket and the rest of Axel's wounds, is it going to like everything?
As you try, I moved you up floors.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, your magic doesn't function in the tower.
That's deeply unsettling. All right.
With Nanaha gesturing toward the box, Roz will go over there and open it up.
Inside the chest, I'll say Verity and Saya, you see this right as you start getting up to the top floor. Inside the treasure chest is a severed human head. It is very well preserved. Its flesh has a bit of a waxy complexion to it. Thick, slick, curly black hair, and a purple bandana tied around the head.
Does the purple match the purple on the wagon?
Not exactly, but it does match other Vistani outfits you've seen.
And it's well preserved, you said? It's not like decomposing at all?
No, it's perfectly well preserved. The only strangeness apart from it being a severed head is that it has a waxy complexion to it, almost as if almost like it was taken from a wax statue, but there you still see bits of flesh and whatnot.
Well, that is not what I expected to find in here, I will be honest.
Oh, there's something shiny and smelled good.
Well, this is one of those at least.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to carry a head around me to smell good.
He will put the head back in the box and close the lid. Actually, no.
Okay.
He will open it back up and then look around to see if there's anything else inside the box, like if it was sitting on a pillow or something like underneath.
There are no pillows in there. There is a small, seems to be a leather-bound book of some sort.
Ooh.
Do you wish to investigate?
He will take the book.
The book, you grab it, it seems deceptively light. And when you look at the side, that's because all of the pages have been torn out of it. And you just have a book cover.
What does the book cover say?
It's unmarked.
Well, this is an atrocity to books everywhere. Who would do such a thing?
Someone with something to hide.
Shame
Nanaha-
also, but yes.
Nanaha, when you were doing your original search of the area, you do see bits of paper in the wood-burning stove.
Nanaha will go over to the stove and see if any of them are pickable. Are they?
None of them seem to be legible in any capacity. Most of them are just blackened. And like you see bits of like the and like you see bits of like you see some numbers. Nothing that makes any sort of narrative cohesion.
For those of us who aren't accustomed to D&D, does mending work with stuff that's been burned to shit?
If it did, it would be like if you tried to fix the book, it'd be completely blank.
Oh well.
It wouldn't preserve the writing, sorry.
No, I just was wondering if we could like reassemble the burnt pieces of the pages, but
Axel and Pocket, what are y'all doing on the ground floor?
I just want to get on the lift and say lift until I get to the third floor, and then check to see if there is safe ground on that floor.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the lift to come down.
All of the flooring on the third floor is very spongy and almost like... Just trying to think of the best way to... It's very rotten and barely holding itself together.
You could try laying out like you're on thin ice, if you want to get to it.
Try doing what?
Like, so out of character, have you ever seen, like, if you ever find yourself standing on thin ice, or like if you fall into ice or something, how to get off? Where you like get on, like you basically get on your stomach and just distribute your weight as wide as you can and like kind of wriggle.
As much surface area as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I could do that. I'm also afraid of falling again. But let me see. Okay. I'll drop my stuff on the lift so that I'm lighter. And like slowly reach a foot out to the tile that's bottom left of me to see if I can but slowly put some weight on it, keeping most of my weight on the platform while I try to get on it.
The more weight you put on it, the more give you feel the floor having.
And now, this space in front of me, is that actually just like grayed out? Or is that the hole?
That's the hole.
Curious, does the chest even look like it moves? Like it's just a regular chest, right?
It is just a regular chest, yes.
Let's be fancy. Can I use my whip and try to dislodge it a little bit, like move it? Like just keep whipping at it until it moves?
You could certainly try. I will need you to make an athletics check to try to pull it. Okay, you are able to move it slightly.
And how's it resting on the floor?
The floor is starting to give.
Do we hear the crack of the whip upstairs?
You do hear the crack of a whip one floor below you.
Verity's head pokes out into the lift hole and says, "What are you doing down there?"
Shh. Okay, fuck it. I got a plan. It's gonna hurt a little bit.
Axel, what is he doing?
Somebody get ready down there with me. I'm gonna put my stuff back on.
I don't know how to
And
stick
then,
your head down the hole.
We're all up
I'm gonna
here.
just leap for the chest, like onto the chest.
Oh, God.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check, please.
Why not just knock the chest down the hole you made the first time?
Because then it'll break.
It will also be open.
True, but if there's something fragile inside.
Okay. Axel, I'll need you to make a dex save, please.
This is unpleasant.
Pocket, make me a second acrobatics. Okay, Pocket, you once again go hurtling through the spongy wooden floor. And there is a crumpling as you land, or as you get out of the way. You only take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from your multi-story fall. However, the chest clocks Axel right upside the head, and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, Axel.
God damn it, Pocket!
Sorry. It's a pretty chest.
Oh, good work, you.
It hits the ground, and inside you see a variety of old rotten papers.
Your turn to go up, though.
Give me a second, and Axel's gonna start looking through the papers and see if there's anything else.
Okay. Roll me an investigation, please, Axel. Yeah, it looks like all of the papers in here seem to be old notes from the tower's previous owner. Most of them, the parchment is yellowed and decayed and hard to really make anything out of. And after a few seconds of digging through, it just doesn't seem interesting.
Sure. I'll neatly stack the papers as much as possible for some of the more well-read members of the group, and then hop onto the lift. Or no, the lift isn't down yet, is it? Well,
you could say I would assume that.
Well,
I've seen enough people go.
Sure.
So it'll come back down.
All right. So I call the lift down and get on myself. And I was like, all right, can we not dive off the third floor again, Pocket?
Sure.
All right.
Just down here, and I'll hop on with Axel.
All right, hop on. Let's go. Top floor, please.
A little while later, after all of the commotion, you hear Axel shouting. You heard the sound of the flooring below you starting to give way and crackling. And about a minute or so later, you see Axel and Pocket coming up from the lift. Pocket is very bruised and bloodied, and Axel has a very large red mark on the side of his face from when the treasure chest collided with it.
Remember when I said I trust your heart, but not your judgment, Pocket?
Decided to use a chest rather than a rapier to kill your friend today?
Hey, Roz, let's watch that for right now. Yeah.
Didn't hear that, it glitched out.
I like kind of low voice to Roz, like, hey, let's watch that for right now, okay?
Raz just kind of shrugs. All right.
What did we find up here? I've got some old papers down on the first floor if anyone wants to read them.
We found a
got a
decapitated.
You found a what now?
Raz just kind of pulls out, palms the head, and like shows it to him, like matter of factly.
Huh. I wonder if that's Kazan.
Did you do that yourself, Roz?
As you say, Axel, as you say the word Kazan, the suit of armor creaks and groans in the other side of the room before standing at attention.
Jesus. Are you Kazan?
The suit of armor shakes its head no.
Are you his servant?
The suit of armor does nothing.
Did you know Kazan?
The suit of armor stands at attention again.
What if Kazan
I must
is an
be-
order and not a name?
I was just thinking that. Did it just go limp after the last Kazan? Or whatever?
It just keeps standing at attention whenever you say Kazan, as if it's expecting an order.
Let the wizard's
Guide us to the
name-
treasure.
Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek. Does it know where a holy symbol of great hope might be?
Kazan,
Yeah.
do you know where a holy symbol might be?
It nods.
Kazan, can you take us to it?
It turns around at the place that it was standing in front of, and it reaches its the gauntleted fingertips into the wall, and there's this kind of like creaking noise of metal against stone as it pulls out a small lockbox and turns and displays it in front of you all.
Kazan, thank you.
Do you have to keep saying Kazan, or do you just say it once and then it?
Each time you say Kazan, it except for the thank you when Pocket says Kazan, it gets back to a standing of attention.
Seems to be like to prime it for an order or something.
Kazan says, hop on one foot.
The suit of armor, while still holding the box, starts hopping on one foot.
Kazan
Nanaha.
says, stand at attention.
Goes back to standing at attention.
Nanaha, don't play with magic. It's dangerous.
I like Nana.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to do that too. Kazan, can you open the box?
Yes, it reaches forward, grips the top of the box, and opens it. Inside, you see a... 1 second. Where are you? Important thing. You see sitting inside the box a sun-shaped platinum pendant on a chain of gold. In the center is a large red ruby.
Lathander be praised. Look at this thing.
Is it worth something?
It's probably in materials. It's one of the finest holy symbols I've ever seen.
It looks like a sun too.
It's I like tap the holy symbol that's on my shield. That's similar, but like obviously not as ornate, but like the similar like sun motif, with like kind of like a valley splayed underneath it. This, since we've been here, it seemed to me that their faith is mine, but maybe like an ancient version of it or something. Like it's too similar.
So what you're telling me is you want fancy jewelry.
No, but I mean, this is Kazan. May I take the pendant?
It nods.
Okay. So I take the pendant and kind of just like hold it in my hand. It's like I think this is one of the things we need to get out of here.
Well, that's lame. Then what was the treasure chest for?
To capture pockets.
Verity kind of like backhand taps Saya on the side, like, "You've been unusually quiet through all of this."
I have other things to focus on. But now that you've brought her back to the current events, it might give Axel some legitimacy in Valaki.
That is, I think we will need to discuss what our plans are for Valaki. But
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this in everyone's journals. But none of the powers of the holy symbol will be available until you attune to it.
Oh, it's actually really pretty.
Axel kind of looks to the group. Do y'all mind? And he like throws the holy symbol over his neck.
It certainly
suit
won't
you
do
the
me
best.
any good.
Verity just radiates a little bit of darkness and shrugs.
Unless you want me to use it as a throw-in star, I think it's all yours.
I say prayers. I don't really pray to gods, though, so it's weird.
To be fair, Roz, in a pinch, if you need it, feel free.
For those of you who are wondering, the holy symbol has 10 charges per day or available. It regains 1d6 plus 4 daily. As an action, you can expend 1 charge and cast Hold Person, affecting only vampires. They must make a DC 15 Wisdom save or be paralyzed for 1 minute. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns to end the effect. If you have the Turn Undead or Turn the Unholy feature, you can expend 3 charges to give Undead disadvantage on the save. And lastly, you can spend 5 charges as an action to make the holy symbol spread 30 feet of sunlight for 10 minutes around you.
That's cool.
He is shiny.
Kazan, can you leave this tower with us?
It nods.
Meat shield! Meat shield! Meat shield!
Own little Dodie.
Kazan, is there more gold here?
It nods.
Well then, Kazan, could you bring it to us?
The armor walks over, pocket, and starts rifling through your things and hands you gold you already had.
You are clever, and I like you.
Kazan, do you know the head in the box?
Shakes its head no.
Oh,
Your
Kazan, do you know anything about the Vistani cart that's parked outside?
Shakes its head no.
Well, Kazan, will you follow us then?
Shakes its head yes.
Oh my god, yes.
I think Kazan should take the elevator down first.
The armor gets onto the platform and rides it down to the ground floor. Couple minutes later, everybody, I'm just going to say you can make your way downstairs.
Yep.
Raz will look over the paperwork that Axel left
Okay.
while waiting
roll
for
me-
others to get down.
Okay, roll me an investigation, please. Most of the parchment is decrepit and decayed over time. There's really nothing useful in here. There's some parchment about spell components and like creation of spells, but most of it is yellowed away or crumbled, and there's no useful information that can be garnered from it.
I wasn't I didn't press my button when I said it, but just as he was rolling, I was going to say, can I help him since I got the chest to initially look through it myself? But could I help him if it matters at this point? If not, it's fine.
You can either have him roll again, or you can make your own roll. Your call.
He can roll again. All right.
Same result.
It was meant to be.
So we're leaving here with a suit of armor.
And a very nice new necklace.
Can I also just say that the first thing that we fought when we came to this land was a suit of armor?
This one has made no attempt on us, Pocket.
Also,
Yet.
we fight people all the time, and not all the people want to fight us.
Yet.
Kazan, give Pocket a hug to show him you're friendly, please.
Oh, jeez.
The suit of armor turns around and takes a few steps towards Pocket, attempting to hug him.
I'm running. Oh, nope, I'm out of here. I'm running out of the building.
All right, Pocket, as you run outside of the building, you throw the door open. It had long since closed with everyone heading inside. Where are you?
Just outside the front door.
Yes, I know. I was mostly talking about something a pop-up that I had accidentally closed. My apologies.
Uh-oh.
Please tell me he runs straight into the lightning field and gets zapped.
You run outside, and you are greeted with the sound of howling. Seems that something was drawn by the cracking thunder and lightning surrounding the tower.
Fuck! Well, if nobody else is running out, I'm going to run and climb on top of the carriage that's here.
Okay, you can do so.
Guys, there's fucking shit out here! I don't know if they can hear me from inside with the door closed.
I mean, if we hear the
As
howling,
the door
Axel
closed
can head
behind
out.
you.
Oh.
You do hear the howling.
There appears to be 2 horses out here.
Yeah, we don't want our horses eaten.
I think they'd have a hard time with mine, to be fair. Also, it's an elk.
Chewy.
Kazan, follow us.
The suit of armor will follow. And as you guys get outside, you see several lupine forms as a bunch of wolves begin to skulk down the trail that you guys came to get into here. And leading at the pack, you see several humanoid, wolf-like creatures leading them.
Like just like people, humans who look like wolves, or like actual werewolves?
Like actual werewolves.
Oh, fuck. Quick, do the dance! Go back in the tower, everybody!
And I think that would be a good point to stop for today.